So since the last time you saw our M3, we were detailing it, things have progressed, yeah, quite a lot. Now I said that I'd talk to you about the plans for this car and what we're going to do with it, and don't kill me, but this is actually going to be another drift car. We're going to build this car so that we don't have to put loads of work on the LTO car. The reason being, the reason we're using an M3 Evo is that 3.2 litre engine. I wanted that engine specifically, that only came in this car. Sure, I could have bought another E36, I could have found an engine, I could have done an engine swap, but this car was cheap, and it was cheap for a reason, and it weren't because of the engine not working well. That's perfect. It was the rest of the car. This car is not the cleanest example. Now, it looks good on pictures and it could quite easily be an Instagram car, but if you go around it, there's a nick, a mark, a dent, a scuff, or something wrong on pretty much every panel. The bonnet's had some shoddy paint. This was a pattern wing. This whole side is probably one of the worst paint jobs I've ever seen. There's lacquer peel up on the roof. The rear bumper's got a mark in it. It's not the best example. So if we were going to build a show car version of one of these, this wouldn't have been the base car we started with. I picked this car because it was mechanically sound and it had been well looked after, and that was the important ingredient for this particular build. If I spin the camera around now, I'll show you where we're at so far. So front end has all been stripped down. As you can see, we have done some quite aggressive cutting to the front, and the reason for that is because, like our LTO car, we're running Wisefab on this as well. Our friends at BC have also hooked us up with some coilovers, so that will get it sitting right and also get it handling right. We've had to modify the turret to take the extra angle and the aggressive stance of the Wisefab kit. Front bumper's been trimmed down. Rivserts all along here to take the over fenders. Yes, we have cut that quite aggressively. It needs a bit more tidying up. That will not be staying like that. We'll tidy all that up. As you can see on the back, we're still working on the back. It is kind of test fitted now, but we need to come in and trim that metal away there, fold it up, bring it in so it all meets and it's all nice around there. So we'll be doing that today. Interior wise, it did have a lovely interior. We've taken that out. We've just been test fitting our new seats from Option. We're working on that. Yeah, it's not easy to get seats to fit in the right position, these E36s, so there's a bit more work for us to do there. Around the back, not much change so far. Obviously over fenders. To be honest with you, not much will change. We've got the battery disconnected because we've been taking seats out that had airbags and so on and so forth, but that'll all be going back in. You will see that this is all hanging down, and that's because we've still got to fit the rear suspension, but we've got the diff out at the moment. We've done the exchange with our LSD. We had a friend that needed one, so we're doing a swap and they can use that. We don't need an LSD. We're getting a welded diff in this. So that is the plan for our E36 M3 Evo project. Love it or hate it, at least it's going to get driven. It's going to get driven in anger. Stick with us and see what else we get up to with it. Boys have been absolutely flying through this build, so I'm going to spin the camera around and show you where we've got to and speak to you about some of the modifications so far. I've still got to clean up the brake calipers. I want to paint those up. We're going to put some new pads in. Discs are in pretty good shape despite a little bit of rusting, but I'll clean that up with a wire brush, paint those up, make them look pretty. We've got an over fender kit to go on here as well, which is fresh back from the body shop. There it is in that beautiful Boston green, so that will be going on shortly. We've got the new wheels from our friends at Wheel Pros. They hooked us up with these TSWs, kind of like a motorsporty vibe with these. Got the rain sports on the front, got the high flyers for the rear. There's another pair of these as well, so we've got two pairs for the rear, one pair for the front. On the interior, not much progress so far. Unfortunately, these brackets do not fit those seats into that hole very well. So we're waiting on somebody that's making us a set of brackets for that. We have got the steering wheel in the car. Oh, and we've got the OG faux orange as well. But we'll get into the interior. It should be relatively simple. I don't think we're going to have the roll cage in time for that. So if we don't have the roll cage in time for the first drift day, it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. We're not going to a fast circuit. It's just going to be testing the car. Yeah, I do want to change the exhaust just to give it a bit of a better tone, because a stand exhaust's a bit subtle on any car, even these old school ones. So that's where we're at so far. I'm going to get my angle grinder out. I know some of you guys are going to hate me for this. I'm going to cut these rear quarters up now. Let's go. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, look at my breath. Have a bit of my mate is disco way drifting.
Yeah. So day 4 on our M3 Evo drift car build, and things are starting to come to a close. Might not look like it, but we've actually done a lot of work under there. A few more things to button up and it's good to go. We've put in new brake lines because we needed to bypass the ABS. You don't want that on a drift car. We've run the lines inside up from the new hydro that will be fitted on the dash. We've got to make a little plate, we've got to fabricate a plate for that to fit that in. A little bit of trimming around the centre console, trying to keep it like an actual road car inside. So still got carpet, still got centre console, got a full dash. There is a cage to go in. Unfortunately, that isn't going to happen just yet. It's probably going to get its first outing without that, so I'll take it a little bit easy, but I need to anyway, so you'll see why later on. We've done some alignment. We're almost ready to get the diff back in, get the wheels on it, get this dropped on the floor, and then you're going to see what we've created. Let's go. Here we are then, it is day 5 of our E36 M3 build, and you might notice there's something missing. That is because the car is finally complete and on its wheels. We've got it outside because it's got quite dusty. We need to give it a little wash down now. So we're going to give it a rinse off, we're going to get it dried, get it back in the bay, and then we're going to be doing some more detailing, because the whole purpose of this project is we want to put our ceramic system through its paces. So we're going to get this car coated up, we're then going to take it up the country, put it through its paces on a drift day with our friends, then bring it back here and show you just how easy it is to clean up a car when it's coated correctly. Let's go. So with the build now complete and it's had a wash down, it's been coated, all that's left for us to do is put this on a truck, send it all the way up to Scotland and put this car through its paces to see how this ceramic coating system actually holds up with some proper abuse. We'll see you on the next one.